Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Let's take a look and see what's going on with Bitcoin. So, taking a look at our daily here, you can basically see that we almost hit that top of the box that I had identified here. So we've basically, filled most of this order block here. We almost reached the top of it. We got rejected. Where was our high here? Our high was around 262 here. So not quite the 62.3 level that we were looking for, but this could potentially be our high for the week. I'm not 100% sure if it is, but you can see, let's see if I put that there. We spiked through that bearish 786 level. Now, whether or not that's going to hold and stay the case is a true question. We have to really consolidate and stay between that range like I've been talking about. Um, the other possibility is that we reach up to 62.8. That would be this next level right here. So I would definitely have 62.8, 62 on your chart as well, just in case we do get up to this level here. Let me try to put this right about there is fine. And then obviously, like even the next one up would be a possibility as well. So we already have one at 63,940, so that would be your next one. But so far, it's looking fairly bullish. I mean, not any strong pullback just yet. I am not expecting any sort of pullback over the weekend. I do feel like we're going to stay above weekly open at 59K. So if we do get something lower, I would expect it within, maybe the lowest around 60,622 or 60,189. But I do feel like because we had such a bullish week this week that we're going to stay above our weekly open down here. So that's a good sign for the bulls. Our 12-hour looking decent. It looks okay. I mean, we still have 9 hours left before this closes, so I'm not too worried about this red candle basically, or this black candle. Um, this one right here, let's see. So this is the 8 hour. Yeah, it's looking about the same. We have an hour and 23 to close. I would have liked for this to close inside of this box right here, but it looks like we're getting a strong rejection out of this box, which is somewhat concerning. For the past, it looks like the past 8 hour candles, we haven't been able to really close within it. So this is our area of retention, right? Like it basically it's rejecting or rejection I should say. It is rejecting price action. Whenever it gets up into here, we can't really seem to get some bigger time frame closes in here, right? 4 hour did get one close, but it's getting rejected right now. Again, an hour and 23 minutes left on that candle. Let's see, 2 hour. So 2 hour actually got above its 200 MA. 200 MA is at 61,796. So ideally, if we can potentially even kind of flag out here and consolidate, this is kind of what I would be expecting for the 2 hour if we were to stay bullish. We could get a very nice move up potentially from here, even up to 62,865. So look for this to flag out and see if we can stay above this 200 MA, okay? That's going to be your bullish scenario for the day. Consolidation above this, even if it was more of a, let's say like a Twisted Sister type pattern, this could also break out this way as well. Let me paint this here, something like this. You could say, so this could break out like this as well if we stay within here, just kind of get some sort of a downward trend a little bit and then break out. This would, I guess, in theory, happen probably later on today because these are 2 hour candles. So I would look for something like this to happen, okay? If we, like I said, if we were to stay bullish. Now, your bearish case is going to be that we round out, so this becomes more of a rounded W-ish type of top here, and then we fall, right? So this becomes your rounded top, and then it dumps us down, okay? So it's really going to depend on, what Bitcoin wants to do. Again, I am bullish for the remainder of the week. Not that we are going to make another high, but just being up here within this range is what I'm expecting. So, like I said, I don't think we're going to fall back into the 50s. I think we're going to stay in the 60s. Okay. Finally, moving down into the 15-minute, we are staying above the 200 MA, which is a great sign. So we stayed above it overnight. Again, we're just going through a period of consolidation. So this could technically be framed as bullish consolidation because we haven't really lost anything. We're just kind of staying in the upper 61 range for the most part. So looking great so far. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on with liquidity. So let me get out of here. All right. So taking a look at liquidity here, let me drive into the 4 hour. So let's see here. All right. So our 4 hour time frame, you do see now we actually have some liquidity building above us to 64,000. So that's a really good sign. That means that there's enough people that have been shorting the market to kind of hopefully help us bring us up. So this is an area of possibility, and actually now I would probably pull from this 786 right here, that wick down, and you can see this directly aligns with 63,953. So I would have 63,953 on your charts on the 4 hour. Let me move this down, try to move this down just a little bit here. So I would have 63, about 63,950 even on your charts. We could potentially get up to here. I don't think it would happen over the weekend. I mean, it is possible, but it's more of a sign it could possibly happen next week. So have this on your charts. Definitely could get up to here before we get any sort of stronger rejection potentially. But so far, that's a very good sign on the 4 hour. Going into our 1 hour. All right. So our 1 hour here, like we talked about, look at how we just are getting rejected off of the 62,140. So that's to be expected. That's kind of been our line in the sand right there for the bulls. So we got to get it back above there, and be able to close candles above it on these bigger time frames. One really good thing is that you can see on our trend if indicator, the 4 hour and the hourly are still extremely bullish. I mean, they flipped to extreme bull. So that is a very good sign. I mean, your daily is -1, which is slightly bearish, but your smaller, your meso time frames to micro time frames are still very bullish. Okay. Um, you know, as far as consolidation goes, it looks like, if you just have 100x checked off, you could revisit 61K area. That's around where this green is, this green box is. I don't know if that's a 786. Let's pull this maybe from this wick right here up. Um, so 60,763 would be your potential. Let's see, a little bit higher maybe. Let's see. 60,780. So 60,780 would potentially be your biggest pullback, I would say, for the week, probably. I don't expect us to get that low, but that would be your potential, if we were to have a decent pullback in the back to, high 60s range, basically. Nothing extreme, again, staying above weekly opens. Um, let's take a look at our 15 minutes. So the 15-minute looks like we have a lot of red liquidity right above us. So 62.8 even to 63.4, starting to get up to that 63.9 level that we were talking about. So we do have, quite a bit of concentrated red liquidity to get us up there, right? To 63.4 at least, which is close enough. So that is, a potential that we could just kind of plow through this, even today or possibly, I wouldn't expect it, but it could be this weekend, especially, it could be for the holiday as well if they try to get people to short over the weekend. So it's possible we just do a slow climb up, but just keep in mind that we could have some consolidation here for right now. It is a very low volume day. It's going to be a lower volume weekend because of the holiday. So just kind of keep that in mind. Taking a look at our order book map here, you can see that we actually do have orders above us at 62.5, even further to 63.4, right around where this area is. So it really aligns with what we're seeing, in our smaller time frames, our micro time frames. You can see that there is quite a bit of orders down here. So, 63.7, sorry, 60,700, and even down to 60,400-ish area. So we could possibly see a pullback to this area. Again, I am not expecting us to get below 60,000. Just know that, there's a possibility that we could drop down to kind of take some of these orders out before moving up. What I'm hoping happens is we consolidate here. We take this out, basically, I would love to see this taken out at the start of our next weekly candle. So, when it comes Sunday evening, once the next weekly candle opens, so Sunday evening, Monday morning ish, I would love to see for us to take this out during that time frame. because then that would allow us to get just a slight dip before we start, we continue our move up. We make that wick of the next weekly candle and then make our move up. So ideally we leave this alone, but obviously the market's going to do what it's going to do, right? But I would love for this to be left alone until that time frame, okay, until that time occurs. So let's take a look at our 5 minute and see where we're at. So our 5 minute still showing the same thing. You can get up to 63.4. So everything really on the smaller time frames is saying that we can get up to 63.4. Also on the 4 hour, you have it up to 63.9. You have some liquidity. So everything points to us continuing the move up. Again, like I've told you guys, unless you're willing to play some smaller moves, it is not a very good idea right now to be shorting the market. It's better to just wait and look for setups for the longs. But do what you want with that information, not financial advice. It's just from my perspective. So anyways, guys, that is what I have for you for the actual liquidity heat map on Trading Different. Let's take a quick look at the simple map here. So let me pull that up real quick. So our simple map, taking a look here, it does show a lot of concentrated liquidity up to that 68, 63, 400 level, right? You can see that that would land us right about here, and that's basically taking out both of these peaks right here. So definitely is possible, at least even getting, I would say, to 63.2. It looks like we could just, once, if we were to take both of these out, we could just kind of fall through this, like, you see on your volume profile, right? You usually, once you get up to a peak, you can fall through. So I would say at least probably about 63.2 you could probably get to. Um, you do have a little bit forming to the downside. Obviously, people are going long, so very, worst case scenario, you could be taking out some of this. But like I said, guys, there's a lot more right now that we're right next to on the smaller time frames. They're scalping time frames, so that's a very good sign for the bulls. Going into the swing time frames, you can see we're starting to take out some of these nodes right here, surprisingly enough. So your next one would be around, you could see how we could literally just kind of fall through to this node right here, so that's 63.3. I could see us just kind of falling through these little nodes right here, similar to like how I said the volume profile works. So we might see some area of contention, right here at around 63,300. Um, but at least we can get a little bit more of a move up. That would be nice, another $1,300 move up before we see some more resistance. So that would be an extremely good sign for the bulls. Like I said, to have that happen, because 62 has been a very tough area for us to get through, right? So if we could get up to 63.3, that would be amazing, or even 63.2. So anyways, guys, that is what I'm seeing, so far on the macro, the meso, and the micro timeframes. Again, like I've been saying, I'm bullish on the micro and meso timeframes. The macro needs to get up above these key levels and show some more strength before I turn and flip more of a bullish bias on those. Um, that being said, I mean, I'm still, obviously, because the micro and the meso are bullish in my opinion, it could definitely flip the macro bullish, but I still see all of this liquidity below us. I know that we're still in a very low volume period, so that's why I'm cautious of saying that, I am fully bullish on the macro time frame there. So anyways, guys, that is what I have for you this morning. I will give you guys another update later. I hope you have a wonderful trading day. Take care.